Hi there, Jamie Larson with HOMELAB Marketing and DBM Realty in Qualicum Beach, bringing you a piece of seller advice today. We're going to talk about using winter wisely, or planning and preparing for the spring market ahead. Great market last year, so this may have got some of you thinking about selling, or maybe you tried to sell last year and weren't quite able to get sold or not achieve the results you wanted. So we're going to talk about how you can use these next few months to plan wisely, so when the market hits, you're well prepared, you're putting your best foot forward. The best first step is don't wait. Have a realtor or two through now to have a planning and preparation or a critical review of your home. You could be likened to a dinner party. None of us would wait the last minute to throw a dinner party. Maybe we have, but usually that would result in a stressful experience for the host and not so much a memorable experience for the guests. So we want to be prepared well in advance. Our guest list. So we want to know who our buyer is. So that's a question for your realtor. Identify that buyer. And then we want to talk about the recipe. We want to talk about what's going to appeal to that buyer so we can have our home ready for them when we do have them through, or when we start to work through those impressions. A few specific areas that a good realtor is going to be able to comment on and give you some insights on are landscaping, maintenance, and staging. So buyers don't always come through looking for the positives. They can come through and be quite critical. Things jump out at them. And they can create their own ideas of how those may or may not impact the home. The first area of regard is landscape, or landscape and privacy. So I use this slide. This is a home on Memorial Avenue in Qualicum Beach. It's the gateway to town. Many people are familiar with these homes. These are one of the most popular and highest price or highest valued homes in our downtown area. And there's several reasons for that. But the one key area of focus here is Memorial Avenue tends to be probably our busiest street in Qualicum. Although not that busy because it's still Qualicum Beach. There is a lot of pedestrian and vehicle traffic in the peak hours of the day. So these homes had a thoughtful landscape plan designed by CA Design, providing privacy hedging and an entry gate to the homes. Many of these homes have their great room or living room or their master bedroom orientated to the front of the home. So you can imagine how that would have felt if that hedging and privacy buffer, both visually and sound-wise, wasn't there. You would have been very exposed. It would have had that sort of fishbowl effect we so often hear of. But with this thoughtful design, I can say firsthand, having lived in one of these homes, you look out to a beautiful private courtyard. They just feel great, and you have all the advantages of being downtown. So many of us have yard spaces or landscape that we're quite comfortable with. We've grown with it over time. But buyers tend to pick out that one thing. Maybe it's that one neighbor's window that seems or appears to be looking into your yard space. Or maybe it's the outlook to a roadway. It may not have any impact on the quality of living within the space, but buyers tend to develop their own stories around that. So could you thoughtfully plant a tree in front of that window, or could you hedge line that street to yard interface? So a couple items that with careful planning and preparation, you're going to be able to have the winter months to build that fence or plant that tree so that that is not a hurdle when it comes time to sell. Second, we're going to look at staging. So one of the best experiences or where I've realized just how important staging is firsthand is with the sale of new homes. As you can see, this is a new home over in Westridge, new development in Qualicum Beach. This is right after completion, but we're having buyers through at this stage. So great level of finish within the home, but you can imagine how buyers wouldn't really get the whole feel or the whole vision for how that home flows and how it's going to feel. So after some careful staging with the help of CA Design, here's what we're looking at. We have a nice defined great room space, three-sided furniture orientation. The space is defined with an area rug, and then to the alternate, You've kept a nice visual barrier with a bench seating. You enhance the height by using something higher on the dining room table, as well as you brought some art into the space. So you can imagine how buyers would now respond to this space. It's current, it flows well, it's good efficient use of space. The only item in here that was missed, it was a little earlier, were the window coverings, which also play a big role in how a home feels. So again, for good quality, but not that vision being demonstrated, and after, how the home truly is going to live. So with yourself, maybe it's simply just reconfiguring. Maybe it means even taking a piece of furniture out. My favorite I see is in the great room. When we live in a place over time, all the pieces of furniture are pulled back and all perfectly angled towards the television. Now that's great for us when you're watching the game or you're at home, but when a buyer comes through, you want to properly identify what that room was meant to be used for and how that space flows and integrates with other areas of the home. Lastly, maintenance. One big area is the small things. So buyers come through, they don't get to look at the mechanical, they don't get to look at the more inner workings of the home, but they do see little things like paint touch-ups or beat up trims or gutters that are overflowing. So if you maintain in the smaller things, that gives buyers the sense that if you're good in the little things, you'll be good in the larger things. But so often it's the little things that do get neglected. So having a good walk around both the outside and the interior of the home with your realtor, identifying a few areas that could use some help, and then working on them. One area of that that's very easily done, but quite often is one of them, would be painting. So I use this fitting example of a deck. Gorgeous cedar deck. It's actually weathered quite nice over time. And if I'm living in the home, I'd be quite happy with that deck. But you can imagine the impact that would have to a buyer coming through if now that was a nice stained deck, looked lively, rich in color, would give a great impression to that buyer who is visiting. So can you look around your home, find these few items? So don't wait. Contact your realtor in the winter months so they can prepare a planning and preparation checklist for you, identify those areas, perhaps even recommend a few people that could be of help to you. So when spring hits, you're prepared, you're ready for those pictures, you're ready for those drive-bys, and that all the impressions made to buyers through the buying process are as good as possible. So I hope this proved helpful, and of course if you're selling in the Qualicum Beach, Parksville area, we'd welcome a call. We're happy to come through and give you our comments on your home. Thanks for watching, and look forward to more seller advice over time. Bye for now.